stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Hello. Probably wondering what I'm doing, huh? No, I don't think so. Actually, I'm writing a book. I'm using ChatGPT to take some of my videos and write them into books. They're going to be little short books. The first one's going to be about mental illnesses in recovery. It's writing it right now. ChatGPT is writing it right now. I'll give you a little bit of it. All right. Chapter 2 is called Spiritual Awakenings and Other Weird Shit That Works. Gotta go on. All right. So the first one, the first chapter is it alcoholism or is my brain just being extra? Name of the book's called Raw Recovery Stories That Slap You Sober. We're gonna have a little bit of fun with this. And what I've done is I've kind of just taken we got to do a lot of scrolling here. Scrolling, because I got to get through a bunch of stuff. You can. All right. So here's some things. Intro. Let's be real. If you've ever had a blackout, argued with a microwave, or hallucinated your dog judging you, you might have asked, is this the booze talking or is something really wrong with me? In this chapter, I dig into the messy overlap between alcoholism and mental illness, depression, anxiety, psychosis, PTSD. They're all blended together like some horrible cocktail, pun intended. And yes, it's okay to laugh about it. We've earned that. There we go. So, wow, everybody's here. Whoa. I came back. Everybody's here. Like that, Michelle? Awesome. Thank you. Good afternoon, Heather. Good afternoon, Sam. Good to see you, Sam. Sam says, sitting on the dock of the bay. That's not what he said. He said, sitting post-op from the back surgery. Glad to be here. Glad to have AA. Support of the fellows. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. If you need an AA meeting, we got a meeting in about 3 hours. So reach out to me, dude. I'll be happy to send you the link. Surgery was done in OR 12. I hit my knees before surgery. Knew everything would be as it was meant to be. God is good, is it not? God is good. Hell yeah, man. Glad to hear that, man. And I hope you're feeling better soon. I know back surgery can be a tough one. And no, I'm not going to sit here and lecture you. Make sure that they don't give you any non-narcotics. Yeah, I'm not an alcohol. I'm not an addict. Okay. I'm going to tell you something. I've had Oxy this week. My wrist is killing me. I had some extra Oxy sitting around. I utilized it. I don't feel like having more. My wrist wasn't hurting anymore. I didn't need more. My brain doesn't do that with drugs as much. I'm not saying it doesn't come up. Like, ooh, if we had 5 of these, right? The one thing I can't seem to do that with those mushrooms. They're like microdosing, But we're all different. We're all different, man. So, when it comes to stuff like that, for me, what I do is I give the med to somebody I trust, and I follow the doctor's direction. Because sometimes I do want a little bit more. I want it, but that doesn't mean I have to listen. Now, when it comes to alcohol, once I take the first drink, I don't have that willpower. I don't know what it is. When it comes to alcohol, I do not have fucking willpower. Why that is, I don't know. I don't need to know. I just know that it's true. I don't need more than that. Sam said, God is good. Honestly, so much relief in areas I needed. I had my girl playing nurse. There you go. Make the best of a situation. It's already tough, but having a bad attitude about it is just going to make the pain worse. It will. A bad attitude makes the pain worse. It's weird, but it happens. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. Feel free to wear it out. I do not mind. You wear my name out. Say it. Say my name. Like Never Ending Story. Say my name. What was his name? Oh, it was in my head too. Sebastian. That's his name. Sebastian. Say my name, Sebastian. If you're here, please say hello. Whether you're watching the live or the rewatch, the more stuff that happens, the higher it goes. Yeah, it don't fucking matter here. It's not the way I do things. You will find me if God deems that you need to find me. So, why? Because God is good. Because God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. It's actually a prayer. Falcor is a baller. I would agree with that. Falcor, the never-ending story. Got to do a little bit of singing. Heather's here. All right, so we're going to find the beauty in gray. Why are we talking about this topic? Because we alcoholics live in these extremes and we've got to get out of them. There's a lot of people living in the extremes right now. It's not just alcoholics, but man, not everybody. A lot of people. I wouldn't say most of the people, but a lot. Right? What are some of the things that it usually has to do with our worth or how we feel about ourselves? That we either think we're the low of the low or we're the top of the top. There doesn't seem to be much in between. And why are we like that? What is something that we're going to need to find the beauty in the gray, in the colors? Humility. Humility is the key ingredient to this. Understanding that I'm not a piece of crap. I am useful in this world, but not to let it go to my head. That I think that, there's nothing worse than a person with 3 months of sobriety who thinks they know what they're doing. I'm telling you, that's some of the most dangerous people, because then they start spouting things that are not true. And it's unfortunate, but misinformation in recovery has the power to kill other people. Okay? It does. So we got to be careful. I went to a meeting this morning. I went to the Adams County ATCC meeting, which is continuing care. We're trying to figure out it. And it's a song that never ends. Yeah. It goes on and on and on. I was just listening to Changes by Ozzy Osbourne. I don't know if people realize this, but it's about his alcoholism. Go listen to it. They're like, oh, no, it's about, she was my woman. You think he's writing that about his wife? No, he's writing it about alcohol. And when he had to quit drinking, that was his ode to alcohol. Now, you can thank Steven Tyler for that stuff, right? So, what do we need? We need humility. We need to these super promoters. I'm a promoter, man. In a literal sense. I used to promote local bands. I go to their practice space. You had to have a CD out or you weren't big enough to be on radio. I needed some of your music. So I go to these local, I interviewed local bands, image. I don't need that. Right. But I'd interview local bands in their space. And I would record it. We get taglines while we were there. This is Dion with blah, blah, blah. You're listening to KRFC Homegrown Radio. Shit like that. And then I put a little bong rip after it too, because Homegrown Radio. I was still drinking at the time when I did this, right? And so I would go there and I would interview them, record. I'd take it home, edit it, throw in a couple of their songs. Okay. And we'd have to get the interview in first. The interview had to be first because otherwise everybody was too drunk And we do these things sometimes at 10 o'clock in the morning. But, and then I got a free show out of it too. I really enjoyed doing that. Didn't make a dime. I didn't get paid a dime. I just loved doing it. Yeah. Michelle says that's my favorite Ozzy song. Sam said Youngblood version at his last show was, I wasn't a fan of Youngblood until I heard that. And now I love the motherfucker. Yeah, what a cool kid, man. What a cool kid, And what an ode. He did that with so much fucking respect, and I appreciate that. All right, so The Beauty of Grey. All right, now I've stolen this. This is actually the name of a song by Live off their first album, which was Mental Jewelry. Right, this was before Live got big. When Lightning Crash, All Over You, all that came out. They have like 9 albums now, just so you know. Right, so this is actually from a song called The Beauty of Grey, and it talks about how we need to take a look at these other colors, that we can't live in this black and white world, that it's either this or it's that. Now, there are a lot of things in recovery that are black and white. Okay. The first one is a higher power. You either got God in your life or you don't. These are what I call pregnant situations. You're either pregnant or you're not. There is no other choice. And for us alcoholics, there are a lot of things like that for us. That's why people have a hard time with the program, because it almost feels like when somebody gives you an ultimatum, right? When somebody gives me an ultimatum, the choice I make is whatever inconveniences them the most. That's what I will base my choice on. I do it to this day. I have to be careful about it. Ultimatums. I have to put a little bit more thought. But they just need it right now, and I need time. Then you're inconveniencing me, so therefore I'm going to have you join me. Or I'll come up with a third option where it's just going to be, nah. That's what we're talking about, these sudden urges. What are some other things? When it comes to character defects. Okay, I have this character defect. Maybe it's justified anger, right? And I know I have it, and I'm willing to work on it. But what I can't say is, no, I refuse to work on it. I refuse to look at it. Now we're kind of being closed-minded, right? We're being a little bit more closed-minded. So we need to be able to see these other things. Now, there's a literal sense to this too. When you drink so much alcohol and you're not sleeping and you start to get into this psychosis that is alcohol, colors become different. I don't know if this happened to any of you, okay? But it happened to me. It didn't happen to me the first time I got sober. I was 18 years old. But when I got older, I got sober at 45. After like 3-4 months, the grass turned a different color. Everything turned a different color. I could actually see it. Before, it was a hue. It was a hue. A mind of preferences may be a mind that suffers. I like that, Sam. Right? So the concept of the beauty of gray can be understood 2 ways: the color gray and the more metaphorical gray areas. Now, what we're doing is we're going for the metaphorical. That's what we're going for, because we're talking metaphorically here. We're not talking in the true sense of colors and color blindness and these other things. What are some of the things that highlighting texture and form, creating atmosphere and mood? So nuance and complexity. Recognizing shades of gray allows for a more nuanced relationship of situations, relationships, and oneself. Right? Because what are we trying? So if we're this low or this high, what do alcoholics need? Balance. So what do we need to do? We need to bring this up and this down. And what do we got? Ooh, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, we got balance. When we have one side over here, all the way to the left, right? Let's say these are Republicans. We're just gonna. And this is an example only. I'm not getting into politics, so don't say anything political. Okay. Over here to the right is which one did I say? So we got Democrats or Republicans. We got a far right view. We got a far left view. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Maybe my thinking on something is like an either or, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these together. I'm going to start to push them together, right? And there's going to be resistance in the beginning because that's what my brain does. So I'm making progress, right? And after a little while, this will come together. And what do we got? What do we got? God. Look where my hands are at. It's in the praying position for anybody that doesn't have video on this. Okay? It's God. It is your higher power. It is my higher power that helped me find balance in this life. It really is. He led the right people to me. Did he give it to me? No. I had to work for it. But what he did, they did, he did, she did, doesn't matter. I try to be respectful because maybe not everybody thinks that God is a man and I've never met them. So I really don't fucking know. Do I? No, I don't. Oh, all right. So, but for lack of a better word, we'll stick with it, right? All right. So it's about finding balance. And what's that going to lead us to? Because what do? We ran around all the time. I hear people say it all the time. If this happened, I would be happy. If that happened, I would be happy. If blah, blah, blah. And all these considerations, these requirements, these things that we need for happiness, these are not requirements. You can be happy right now if you choose to be. You just have to make the choice that you are happy. And this is where the beauty of gray comes in. We're going to look for these things. And we alcoholics tend to need to go out of our way, especially in the beginning. For me, now I have muscle memory. Because Alcoholics Anonymous is all about muscle memory. It's the repeating. Did I mention you got to repeat it? Okay. The best advice somebody gave me when I was learning how to drum, they said, okay, because I'm like, listen to this, Phil. They're like, okay, that's pretty good. Okay. But I'm going to give you some advice on it. You need to learn how to play that and order a 5-course meal at the same time. Then you will have it. There we go. Was it? Right? It's the same thing here. You might come to AA and be like, man, they just keep putting it down my, man, I hear it all the time. They keep saying it over and over and over again. I got it. Okay. I got it. No, you don't. You're an alcoholic. You're going to forget. I forget. My brain is a great forgetter. Okay. And I probably should stop saying that because I'm just reinforcing my brain to forget things. So I got to be careful there, right? Sam says, finding gratitude, even in the gray, is necessary to make it day to day, especially early on. I would absolutely agree with that, Sam. Hey, Clara, good to see you. Wisdom and maturity. Embracing these complexities can be a sign of wisdom stemming from experience and willingness to move beyond simple judgments. Now, I didn't put recovery anywhere in this when I asked, but what does it sound like? What words are they using here? Stemming from experience and the wisdom to know the difference. There it is. Now we're looking at wisdom. You're wise. Most alcoholics that I meet are pretty old souls. You were told at a young age, wow, you're wise beyond your years. That used to just piss me off. Because I would think, how did you not figure that out? You're fucking 50 years old. I'm 12. Wise beyond your years. I've also heard, oh, if you were any older, I'd date you. I'm like, well, who said I'd date you? Because I was beyond my years. When really what it was was trauma. It's trauma. Okay? So watch what we say. Let's not compliment people's trauma. I had to grow up fast, or I wouldn't have survived. All right. So willingness to move beyond simple judgments. What would we call those? We'd call those intrusive thoughts. Fuck you, Sam. You're hilarious. Sam says, haha, you're an old soul. Now I'm okay with it. I'm 54. So now I'm okay with it. 54 in age, 13 emotionally. Yeah, we'll go with emotionally, right? And to move beyond simple judgments. Those are my intrusive thoughts. Yeah. I don't get as many. And they're not in the beginning, man. Ooh, some of the things that went through my brain, harsh. And I didn't believe them. Why was I so harsh? This was part of my drinking where putting down other people made me feel better about me. As simple as that. But now that I can see the beauty in the gray or the beauty in things that we're not supposed to find the beauty in, all right, I can get past those simple judgments. All right. So stemming from experience and willingness. There it is. All right. Like I said, I didn't ask anything about recovery. What's the next one? Authentic choices. And don't we really need that? I know this alcoholic needs to check his intentions. What are my intentions here? Is Dion trying to be the center of attention? Is he trying to get love out of other people? What is he doing? You know, why am I doing that? And I often ask myself what my intentions are before going live. And I'll be the first to tell you right now, I love being the center of attention. I do. I went without it while I was a kid. I was put off. And now that people love what I do, it's kind of addicting being the center of attention. Right? So a friend years ago taught me about arenas. They're like, Dion, you got to put the right stuff in the right arenas. Well, this is my arena, right? My arena, no. But the intention is to help other people. Now, why would I do that? It helps build my self-esteem. It makes me feel like I'm useful. And it's God's will. If God wants me to shut up, he'll zip my mouth. And he's done it. So authentic choice is accepting the ambiguity of life's gray areas can lead to more authentic decision-making based on a broader understanding. So now that we're seeing more, we can see more. And I don't mean see more from Little House of Horrors. Feed me, Seymour. All right, another chance to break out into song, but I can't remember a darn song from that show. I can tell you this, Rick Moranis is coming back into acting. That'll be cool. I love Rick Moranis. Sam says, befriending the locals at the bar, forgetting we are bellied up to it. Yeah, huh? Yeah. What is an authentic choice? Taking other people into account. That would be an authentic choice to me. That, okay, I'm going to do this. Will it affect this person? Is it going to affect this? Man, this is going to affect more people than I thought. Maybe I should go to those people and ask them first. Would it be okay? Little shop of horrors. It's the only part I remember. Thanks, Sam, for at least giving me a line that I remember. I appreciate that. Oh, at the end of this one, they're going to be like, well, let's see. You sang about 5 songs. Yeah, we're definitely cutting this video. When I sing them and stuff, it seems to be okay. Now, if I play a YouTube video or any actual music, then that's when they cut it. The other day, I showed a Betty White commercial. They did not cut that because it's a commercial. And they're like, Oh, if you want to use our commercial, tell more people about us. You got it. Right? Claire Joyce says acting with integrity. Yes. Integrity means I'm going to do the same thing whether somebody else is watching or not. Right? Thing is I'm not alone anymore. I got God in my hip pocket, man. He knows. They know. They know. They see it. Right? And I'd much rather get a gift from God than decide my own gift. I would much rather have that, right? So since we have a broader understanding, then we're not ambiguous. That means closed-minded, kind of, right? No, ambiguity doesn't mean that. And I can't look it up right now because I need this. So, right. Embracing imperfection. What do we do here? How many times a day how many times do you go to a meeting and people are saying, I know I'm not perfect and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Going back to that integrity, Claire's expounding on a little bit, acting the same way everywhere I go. Yeah, you don't have to wear different masks anymore. Isn't that nice? I might talk a little different. Like when I'm talking to a professional, I got to pull out some of my bigger words, tone down the swearing a little bit. Not all the way. I swear, and if people, I swear, and that's just too bad. No, I try not to, but sometimes you just need a good F word in there to kind of drive home what you're saying. Well, fuck. Seeing the beauty in gray encompasses accepting imperfections in oneself and others, allowing for forgiveness, and fostering stronger connections. Wow. See, that was all AA. I didn't ask it to do anything recovery. Well, it's recovery based, but it also knows that Dion does, nothing, looks up nothing but recovery stuff, right? What is aging well? Finding beauty in the gray? No, not aging well. Finding. All right. So anyway, another guy did this. Finding the beauty in gray. I was trying to tell you who it was. Maybe you check him out. Welcome to the aging well. Oh, that's an 8-5. Yeah. Okay. All right. Don't Kinks Destroyer. I've been listening to this a lot lately. And there's a little yellow man in me head. Right? What do we think? Sam says the internal dialogue isn't on high alert in the gray. All right, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, when I'm living in the gray, well, let me finish what he was saying. There is no heavy consequences, seemingly sitting on the edge of every move. Yeah, like you don't feel like the next shoe's the other shoe's about to drop, right? That feeling has gone away, which is nice, isn't it? Because man, I lived with that forever. Thank you, PTSD. That's what it came from. Right? It's paranoia, right? The thinking that other people are doing stuff out there directly against me. That's what PTSD is like. It's very, not to the extent where, well, I don't know, because I can only talk on my PTSD, right? But anyway, it's like in the beginning of my recovery, even drinking kind of settled my brain. Everything went quiet when I drank, and I have ADHD and these other things. So my internal dialogue is constantly going. And in the beginning, I used to tell myself a lot, Dion, would you just shut the fuck up? Could you just shut up, dude, please? And now I don't really have to do that anymore. In fact, it's been a while. Right? All right. Well, I think this one turned out pretty good. I appreciate everybody listening. Sam, I pray for a quick recovery. Like I said, if you need a meeting, we're doing one at 5:00 Mountain Standard Time. Be happy to. I think I have you in my phone. I never remember. Don't take offense if you're not. I'm not the best at doing this. Yeah, I got you in here. I'll just send you the link, dude. All right. So I hope you're feeling better. Claire, it was good to see you. We have Michelle, Heather. I think that's everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And